Designers of all types know the phrase universal design. The phrase itself may not mean much to a non-designer, but it should. You are probably familiar with design. Every object we own and every building we enter is made with this in mind. In all cases of design, there is a specific audience the product or environment is made for. However, universal design is about designing for as many different people as possible to the greatest extent possible without the need for adaptation or specialized design. While universal design applies to all types of design, in this case, we will be focusing on the importance of implementing it in website creation. In the beginning of website design, coders often put all of their content within the markup, or one set of code. This made it difficult to update, loading pages slowly, costing companies more money, and being virtually inaccessible to assistive devices such as screen readers. It wasn't until the early 2000s, with the rise of the World Wide Web Consortium, or the W3C, that semantic design began to be used commonly. Semantic design is a web standard created by the W3C that promotes a common framework when writing code for the web. This is a method of organizing our data in 3 different forms of code instead of only one, making it more accessible for ourselves and others. The 3 components that go into semantic design are structure, presentation, and behavior. In structure, we have HTML, XHTML, and other markup languages. These are languages that contain data formatted according to their structural meaning. In presentation, there is CSS, or Cascading Style Sheet, which is a language designed to modify the look and feel of your content. In behavior, there is JavaScript and jQuery, and other modification languages. These behavioral codes are designed to create a user interaction with your website. Without semantic design, a different markup could be written for each browser, and likely would need to be rewritten with each time a browser is updated. Semantic design offers the ability to create complex dynamic websites while also having a well-organized set of code. A website using semantic design is sustainable. It makes our jobs easier, faster, and more efficient. As of the beginning of 2014, 58% of Americans own a smartphone, and that number is only growing. Internationally, we are seeing similar trends towards mobile, with usage reaching 89% of the global population. Many developing countries have skipped the desktop computer altogether, with global penetration of mobile internet usage reaching 79% in the developing world. Accessibility for smartphones is more prominent than it ever has been. It is widely used, and that demographic is also growing. So then, how is it that we implement mobile design? When it comes to mobile website design, there are one of 2 realistic choices you can make as a designer. The first choice is to make your site into an app. This is a good option for large organizations with regular user access, such as Facebook and Twitter. But what about smaller organizations? Chances are your average user isn't looking to download an app for something they aren't wanting to access daily. So then the second choice is to create a responsive and flexible site design. A responsive design means that our websites are capable of checking the size of the device that the user has and adjusting the visual to fit the proportions of their screen without breaking the site. But what about money? Even though money shouldn't be the main reason why we pursue universal website design, we have to be realistic. Money is a moving force for many, if not all, decisions made by organizations. The best part of selling universal design is that it not only reduces the cost of website building, but it also increases profit. Earlier we discussed semantic design, but a semantic website also saves money. When we create a website using semantic design, not only do our pages load faster, but they take less bandwidth, and because of this, they save money. In general, if a site reduces its markup by 35%, it reduces bandwidth costs by the same amount. So, if an organization spends $2,500 a year on bandwidth, they would save $875 with reduced markup. If savings alone aren't convincing enough, consider the profit. According to the W3C, accessible design improves search engine optimization, making universally designed websites show up first when someone uses Google or Bing to find it. As of June 2013, sites listed first on the Google search results generated 92% of all traffic from the web search. When moving from page 1 to page 2, the traffic drops by 95%. One of the most amazing things about the internet is that it can break barriers of communications and limitations of face-to-face interaction. A well-designed website enhances the abilities of persons with disabilities, and with that, everyone else. Accessible design is not something web designers can choose not to do. In fact, it is a much larger issue than that. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities recognizes access to information and communications technologies, including the web, as a basic human right. We can view web design the same way we view building design. Everything needs to be as accessible as possible. Accessible web design is an amazing way to enhance the day-to-day lives of disabled users, and it is our obligation to uphold certain standards to create equal opportunities for all people. With approximately 20% of the US population consisting of persons with disability, it is a user base that designers have to keep in mind. Every day, internet usage grows globally. The frontier of web design and universal design are ever changing, but following universal design standards will improve the endurance and capabilities of our sites in the long term. The numbers don't lie. We can't afford to ignore our users and user web experience. The resources for universal design are everywhere. Many of them are available online and easy to access. When it comes down to it, universal design is simply good design.